Hi, welcome to Everyday Whiskey. I'm Mike.
And I'm Dan.
So this channel we decided to start for our own entertainment, our own enjoyment, because we just truly love whiskeys. And a quick disclaimer, if you will.
Yeah, so basically, guys, we are not experts. We have no conventional training as far as certifications as far as whiskey go.
We're certified with beer, we're not certified with whiskey.
Exactly. So you can take our opinion with a grain of salt, or if you really like the show, you can keep watching it. We really hope you keep watching it. But basically all of our general knowledge just comes from our passion for whiskeys. It comes from our passion for brown goods. So you're going to see other stuff besides bourbon. Yeah, we might feature some rums, some like barrel-aged rums on here.
We'll definitely do some other
like
liquors.
extra anejos, some tequila, like stuff that like brown goods in general. But mostly it's going to be about whiskey, obviously with the title Everyday Whiskey.
Yeah, that's going to be our main focus. But like you said, some of the other items we will feature. I mean, especially tequila, mainly because tequila is basically just, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's Mexican whiskey. It's literally the same thing. It's just different ingredients
exactly the same,
and barrels.
except it's agave instead of corn.
Yeah,
but
it's almost identical.
Just so you guys know, like I said, like these are basically the show is basically about our everyday bottle of whiskeys that we like to drink. Some more attainable bottles that are, always available. Like we're definitely going to feature some rare bottles for sure and some like non-garden variety bottles, but these are definitely going to be a lot of stuff that you can always get and very accessible within certain means. But Mike, let's we need a little bit of this. Let's explain kind of our background so you guys get a better idea where we're coming from with this.
So a little bit about myself. I started in this industry about 7 years ago. I'll say we'll round up. It's probably only been like 6.5, but we'll just say 7 years. Nice even number. Flat number.
That's probably better.
Yeah, 7 is not even. I promise I passed all my math courses.
Sure about that?
Not really, but I made it through.
Yeah.
So I started as just a general store clerk right around the corner at one of our local store chains in town.
We should probably just let you guys know this is being filmed in New Jersey.
Yes, we are
just
in
so
New
you
Jersey.
get a bearing of where we are in the country. We were gonna let you guess, but now you can figure out. We're on the East Coast.
Dirty Jersey. So,
Dirty Jersey.
We're not really known for anything that cool.
But yeah,
we are, I guess.
We're not gonna tell you that.
We're pretty fun.
We're not gonna tell you the liquor store chain that got us.
No, we don't want to.
Got us to where we
put
are.
Any names out there.
But continue.
So yeah, I started the chain when I was 18. It basically was my 19.
You were 18?
Maybe. Yeah, 18 or not. Yeah, because I started school.
No, I'm just feeling really
19.
old. Like I'm 26, so I'm not that old, but I'm kind of feeling a little old right now.
But it was that long ago that we started, and I started just as a general clerk. I'd work the week. Well, actually, I started working the summer after my freshman year of college.
You worked full time.
I worked full time. I needed a job. College wasn't going to pay itself, and more importantly, I needed to spend money for my car, money for whatever.
Yeah, because that first summer, I didn't work with you that first summer at all.
Yeah, you came on later, and then it just took off. I stuck with it all through school. I would come back on some nights during the week to work. Definitely worked every weekend. I mean, we've given so much of our time to this. And it was a sound investment. It helped us both grow our careers.
That's where we got our knowledge from. That's where we kind of got our passions from. Was from the liquor store. Like that's it, and that's like I feel like that's where a lot of people start at. Like I meet very few people that are passionate about, and this may be wrong, but like it's just very few. Like you said, like I feel like liquor store is a good place to start.
Yeah,
as far as getting like extensive knowledge for whiskey and whatever.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And now I don't work at the store anymore. I work on the wholesale side of the industry, so the distribution side. And I could tell you the amount of people that I've met, how many of them come from a similar background. Like, I started working as a store clerk too, or I started as a GM. I mean, you really do find out that that's kind of where a lot of people get their start in this industry.
There's definitely people that don't start there, and there's definitely people that know way more than we know that don't start there.
Or have never worked the industry at all.
Exactly. And they just have a passion for whiskey. Yeah. Which we do, and we share in the same, and that's where everyone becomes one with that. But yeah, exactly. Like that, I think that's where we both started, and that's kind of like where we found our passions for this.
So, with that being said, Dan will talk to you a little bit about his background, even though it's similar, but it differs.
We kind of went two separate ways. So I was 20. You were 19. I needed a job. I texted Mike, and I'm like, hey, man, like, is your liquor store hiring? Because, like, I didn't really like beer that much. I didn't like whiskey. I didn't really drink. And so
Actually, believe it or not, neither of us actually
yeah, neither of us really
drank
drank,
until
honestly,
college.
until
I come
college.
from a pretty we both came from kind of a not a strict household, but a disciplined
Exactly. The
household.
same
I
thing with
was
mine.
not
Like
a-
we're pretty structured.
Yeah,
I think
structured.
structured.
Structured's
I
a
think
better
structured is
word.
the term you want to use.
I was not a high school partier.
Neither was I.
Went
Not-
to school, came
college.
home.
College where we
homework,
kind of like
yeah.
what's the term? Cut our teeth, whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
We kind of
Some
cut the cords
stupid,
at
some
college,
stupid term you
and
want to use there.
That's when reckless stuff.
But yeah, no.
started.
So I started when I was 20 years old, and I went through college. I was working through college. I got an opportunity to become a beer manager. Became a beer manager. My first love was beer. And like
That
I
was
said,
a position we actually
yeah,
shared.
he and I,
together, which
yeah,
was
he and I,
really
he and I
cool.
shared the beer manager job, and it was really cool.
We
He's
had
like-
different ends of it.
Mike and I are best friends.
Yeah,
Basically, we know
we-
each other for 15 years, and that's why we're doing this project together.
Yeah, we go way
Um,
back. There's more to this than just two coworkers.
Exactly,
I
and
mean,
like we don't even work together anymore, and you're gonna find that out in 2 seconds.
yeah.
So he went to go work for the wholesale side. For being a beer manager, and I became an assistant manager, which we shared the assistant manager job as well. I got offered my own general manager job at another store.
And then I moved.
And yeah,
I moved. I'll say more of a co-management position with two different GMs.
yeah, I think
because
it's a safe. I
It
think it's a
was
safe term to
if you
use, right?
compare it to the other assistants in this unnamed company, I was hands
You
down
definitely did
doing
more.
10 times more of the
yeah,
work.
you definitely did
and
more. But yeah, besides the point. So yeah, that's kind of where I got introduced to whiskey and bourbon alike, and got my passion for it. I've only been really into it for about 3 years now, but I've definitely developed a collection and definitely developed a it takes up a lot of time in my life. Just think, as far as just like how I go throughout my day, like some of my whiskey guys are like. That's like the main part of what I deal with now is like I've developed a whiskey clientele at my store, and that's where I've seen found some of these bottles, and that's how I got into it. And it's not even just bourbon, like Kentucky straight bourbon. It's a blended whiskeys, it's American single malt, it's scotches, it's Japanese whiskeys. You name it, I've probably drank it. And the position that we're in, I think allows us access to a lot of bottles that people
most definitely.
yeah, there's a lot of bottles that people
We-
aren't normally accessed.
we get
have access
introduced
to.
into some crazy stuff, whether it be from our sales reps, customer recommendations.
Exactly.
Which, believe it or not, I will tell you, if you're just like us and maybe you're watching this and you do work in the industry, please interact with your customers. Not only does it make
I
you
feel like I
look
learn
good
more
as
from
an
my customers than
employee-
I do some my
Yeah.
sales reps sometimes. I had two come in
Most
today.
definitely.
I had two come in today where they told me about 3 whiskeys I'd never heard about. I did research on them and I found
Yeah.
out where to buy them.
I mean,
And
it reflects. It reflects not only on your employer, you're out there, you're interacting with your customers, which is good. Trust me, that looks great. I mean, people like to go to a place where they know the staff and they walk in, they know
they
who to
want customer
see,
service and I think like
it makes them feel like they're actually
part of a family.
appreciated.
I think
there.
it's part of like, and I don't want to say the word family, but they're part of like, it's just a relaxed environment to walk into. And I won't say I won't say the company we work for, but that's kind of what we always aim for too. Is that like when you walk into my store, I want you to feel like that people want to help you, people want to be around you. Like especially like my whiskey clients, I want to feel like that. I want to get you into the best bottle of whiskey that day that you can possibly get into.
And it might not be when we say the best bottle for you.
It might not be $100.
I'm not saying, and Dan's not saying the best bottle as in like, in Whiskey Magazine, the top
No,
rated.
not
We're
at
saying
all.
best fitting for you.
I think that goes back
mean,
to everyday whiskey. I think
Yeah.
that goes back to the name of the page. It's like we're trying to get you a bottle of whiskey that best suits your taste buds. that
Yeah, I
best,
mean, let's
like-
put it this: the easiest way to do this is, whether it be whiskey, rum, tequila, beer, whatever you're into, wine. It's basically like finding the right pair of shoes. You got to find the shoe that fits you. I mean, everyone's different, and I personally, I don't believe in the rating system. I think
It's got its place.
It does have its place, and like the whole wine experts, sommelier stuff, like it's great. They are by far extremely knowledgeable about what they know, and I'm not discounting them at all. But when it comes to alcohol, food, anything like that, it's a very subjective matter. I mean, everyone's taste buds are different.
I was gonna say, I
so-
think the best way to say it, and it may be rudimentary, is different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I could tell you that this $100 bottle of whiskey is the best thing in the world, and you might hate it, but then I might give you. I'm not saying which ones yet. We're gonna get back in a second. Which one of these $40 bottle of whiskeys
Yeah.
that you might like a lot better.
$35-$40.
Yeah, we're gonna
range.
get,
It,
but
it varies depending
varies.
on your
But,
where you're from, where you're at.
That's basically our background. Like, we come from a liquor store background. He comes from a wholesale. I stayed with the retail side of it. And that's kind of where we got our access to a lot of whiskeys. And it's kind of where we got our passion for it, honestly.
Yes, most definitely.
So, like I said, we're going to swing into what's actually in the glasses right now.
Yeah.
So,
and,
Mike.
Well, real quick before we do this, we do want to say this is still our first episode. And this whole episode is dedicated to just being an introduction. We're gonna feature our favorite bottles. Personally, we thought that'd be a good way to kick off our first episode. And guys, this is our first YouTube video ever. I mean, so expect it. It's not going to be perfect.
It's probably going to be it's probably a little rough.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to try and edit this and make it real good. But I mean, we both we're doing this out of the willness of our hearts. We just want to do it.
And we're doing this because we want to do it,
not because we know how to master YouTube and become the next YouTube millionaire, or like that 8-year-old boy who makes $26 million. Like, no way.
Yeah, we're not the next.
It's gonna be choppy.
We're not the next.
Just bear with us.
We're definitely not like the next Rhett and Link here. So
yeah,
it's like
just bear with us. It's gonna be rough, but we're gonna do good. And you know what? I feel like that bumpiness kind of adds a more natural.
Yeah, I think it's like character. It's like a cask strength whiskey. It's got some character. Yeah. It's got some bite to it. Like whatever.
This would be really boring if it was perfect and flawless right off the bat.
So
you got to have some mess ups and.
What Mike's saying here is, grin and bear it with us. It's gonna get better.
Yeah,
you're gonna learn something for sure. I think.
Oh, definitely, you'll learn.
And if whatever we say isn't correct, I encourage you to leave a comment on why it's not correct, and we will definitely.
Definitely leave a comment. I mean, let's try and keep it mature here, folks. We're all...
Yeah, don't call me short. Like, definitely don't call me short. That's not cool.
I'm going to say we're all 21 and over, but, we're all adults here. Let's keep it mature. Let's not get any... let's not be snarky. Let's not be assholes, for lack of a better term.
Exactly.
We can take the criticism for sure,
and this is a show about whiskey, and first and foremost, it's about the whiskey. Yeah. And when we're talking about the whiskey... Chan, what is in your glass?
So, what's in my glass today is I have Eagle Rare 10-year. It's a pretty common bottle. I mean, in my travels, ever since I branched out.
It's allocated, though, right?
Yeah, it's definitely allocated. So, let me break that down for you a little bit. So,
yeah, I shouldn't say the word allocated if you're not in the liquor industry, so break it down.
So, in my travels, I've been out of the retail side for about 5 months now, and I work on the wholesale, so I'm in and out of stores all across the state in different territories all day long, and I can confidently say in our particular area, you can pretty much find this bottle almost anywhere.
And what's
However,
$35-$40?
About $35-$40 on the shelf.
That's what I've
seen it as low as $32.
Which is... If you find it at 32, just I would
buy
buy 2 bottles. I'd buy a couple of them.
Because you never know when it... I mean, I've been in stores that have mass displays of this. I've been in stores, like, where I come from.
There's 2 bottles on the shelf.
Yeah, they can only get a case a month.
But you can't really buy a 10-year... You can't buy a 10-year single barrel for less than $50 for the most part. So this is a kind of a rarity in itself.
And let me tell you why it's so hard to come by in certain markets. I'm not going to say all markets. In certain markets, it's a product of the Buffalo Trace family. Any experienced drinker or even just people with general knowledge may know that Buffalo Trace has blown up in popularity, mainly due to the highly sought-after Pappy Van Winkle series, the George T. Stagg series.
Which the Pappy 15, you might see a guest appearance.
Depending
how this episode goes, I really don't know.
Like we said, we could get our hands on some pretty cool stuff. And another disclaimer is everything that we will be featuring... We've spent our own money on. Nothing has been given to us. Nothing has been sent to us.
This is not a sponsored video. We're
and
not getting paid to feature these products.
I'm not going to say nothing. I will say if someone does so happen to send it, I'm not saying one of our viewers, maybe a family member, maybe someone we know. If someone did send it, we will give them credit, and we will definitely
if the bottle isn't ours, I think we'll definitely... If the bottle's not ours, we'll definitely give credit who gave us the bottle, for sure. And that's the whole point of this, is that it's like... We just want to get the whiskey out to the world, whether it be big name brand, small name brand, back alley bourbon that you've never heard of before.
Yeah, but all this we bought. I mean, it's our money. We're not being paid to. Like I said, this is our first episode, our first YouTube video in general ever. So we're not being. By no means are we being paid or sponsored to talk about these products.
Not that we said we wouldn't want to be paid or sponsored for it, but Yeah,
I mean,
currently-
isn't that the dream nowadays?
Yeah, that's kind of the dream nowadays.
I mean-
But currently, right now, we're just doing this because we like whiskey and we want
Yeah.
to talk about it, and we have maybe a little more than your general knowledge about
yeah.
it.
YouTube sponsorship seems to be the
but-
new American dream. I mean, it used to be come to America, buy a house,
And then
get
get a
job,
YouTube star.
have
Become a YouTube
family.
star, right?
Now,
That's what it
apparently, in this day and age, it's becoming a social media celebrity, I should
Yeah,
say. But that's not our case at all. We're doing
No,
this
we're just trying to
because we
spread our
just
knowledge. That's the
love
point of this. Like, we're number one, I think would be to have fun.
Yes,
That's what we're doing right now.
100%. Have
And this
fun.
is kind of like, honestly, if the camera wasn't on right now, we would be doing this either way right now.
90% of the time we're bullshitting about
Yeah,
alcohol.
and number
even when
two,
we're off
because that's what we
camera.
do for 100 hours.
It's a big part of our lives. I mean,
Number
that's what we
two,
do.
we want to let you guys know about different brands that are out there that you may not know about. Number three, we want to spread the word of whiskey.
Yeah. So a little bit more about the bottle. We'll get back to that because we did get a little. We went off on a little tangent there, but that's
Yeah,
going to
we
happen
definitely
a
did.
lot.
It's gonna happen a
because
lot, honestly.
Once you get rolling, I'm sure anyone who also does YouTube videos with buddies or partners, they
You kind
know
of lose.
you
You
kind
definitely
of start
you
rolling.
lose a little track.
So Eagle Rare, like I said, it's very sought after because it is one of the Buffalo Trace products, and it's an extremely good product for its price point.
Definitely.
Now, like I said, you can usually find it from 35 to 40. Anything more than that, I'm not gonna. I'll say you're
I
getting.
wouldn't say
robbed,
don't buy it.
but-
No. Don't say.
yeah.
I wouldn't say don't buy it, but I'd just say like I would shop around.
Yeah, I would definitely shop around. However, if it came down to it and I needed to buy, if I could only find this for $50 somewhere, that's an astronomical price. This should not be $50 anywhere, but I would still buy it. I mean,
It's a great product.
Great.
It's a 10-year single barrel.
Yeah,
And if you have
great.
whiskey knowledge, a 10-year single barrel,
yeah,
it's a solid bottle of whiskey.
you can't go wrong. But again, most people, especially if you're on a budget, I would say this is budget friendly. 30. I mean, you got to figure. You're not blowing through this whole bottle in a day.
It's like you get paid on a
you know.
Friday. I feel like $40 is fair.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get every all right. So I'm a fanatic as far as bourbon goes.
Yeah.
Every Friday when I get paid, I probably will buy a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
And not entirely. And $40, that's a good
it's
good
not
wheelhouse
bad.
price.
It's great. I mean, like I said, you could, assuming you're not, and you know what, he may buy one every Friday or every paycheck, but maybe
Don't do that. I'm just saying I have a lot of clutter.
Yeah, maybe let's say you buy this bottle for $35, but you only drink it maybe you only drink on the weekends. Maybe you have one drink.
It's gonna last you a while.
It's gonna last a while. So you
And it's a
figure
good whiskey.
you spend $35 now, and maybe you don't spend it again for another month, maybe 2 months. I mean, I'd consider this
I
budget.
think this is
at
your
that point.
accountant major coming out in you right now, buddy.
Yeah, this is the
budgeting.
accountant.
I was a science.
This is definitely a budget.
I was a science major, so basically, like money just flies out of my
I was a
pocket.
business major, and I like business, hate accounting.
But I think
and
we
that's
both,
why I'm on
and
this
once
side
again, we're
of
going
the
back to it. I
industry.
think we both found our passions in the liquor industry,
Yeah, definitely.
and specifically in bourbon whiskey.
Definitely.
So we're gonna go off of Mike's product here, which is the Eagle Rare 10-year single
Yep.
barrel,
Cheers.
made by Buffalo Trace, and we're gonna go off to a slightly more. Well, I think slightly is a very strong word to use there. A very craft style bourbon.
Yeah.
So as we said before, we are filmed in New Jersey, and if you have a general idea of geography in the U.S., this whiskey is made in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is called. Hopefully, I am in frame here. This is Kinsey 4-year bourbon.
Yeah. Now Philadelphia is very close to us. I mean,
Yeah, it's like what, an hour 30 maybe.
No, not even.
Not even.
My record.
If you
time
obey the
there-
speed limits.
Well, yes, if you obey. So my record time there obeying the speed limit is about 50-minute drive. I mean, we're almost directly west of Philadelphia where we're located. So yes, Philadelphia
So-
maybe for other parts of Jersey can be a bit of a hike, but for us this is.
and if you're in the
local.
Philly area, you probably either already know about Kinsey, and if you don't know about Kinsey, I would definitely visit Kinsey. They're in Fishtown in Philly. So basically, why I'm featuring this product is kind of the same reason Mike's featuring this product. They're both around the $40 wheelhouse. They're both very easy everyday buys.
Yep.
It's a solid whiskey. I'm not really going to get into tasting notes too much. I feel like that's not the point of this episode. But
No,
it's
we're
a
just introductory.
It's a very
stuff here.
easy drinking whiskey. I would call it sessionable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way to call it. So when I say sessionable, it means it's a very good, easy kickback whiskey you can drink on a Tuesday night, not feel bad about it. But this is but as you can see with the level of the bottle here, I've definitely enjoyed this bottle a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it's just easy to drink. It's and like I said, and Kinsey is made by this distillery called New Liberty Distillery, based out of Fishtown, Philadelphia, as we've said.
Yep.
And they have a lot of other products, so I would encourage you to go on their website and check it out. I'm telling you this out of the own goodness of my heart. We are not getting paid to tell you this.
No.
But they make a lot of good products.
Kinsey doesn't know us from a hole in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. I've never actually met anybody
Yeah.
from Kinsey at my store. They
Yeah.
never come in. I'm just doing this because I actually like the product. I actually got this product for Christmas from one of my sales reps a couple years
Oh,
ago.
wow. I did
Yeah.
not know that. That's
So
pretty
the
cool.
fact that this is 2 years old, and
I bought this.
yeah, you bought that.
This is my third one.
Yeah, and impressive.
Yeah.
But Kinsey makes a lot of products. And then under the New Liberty brand name, there's other brands they actually sell. But there are two products independently that I think are great products. Number one being the 4-year bourbon, which
Yes.
we are drinking right here. And number two being the Kinsey Zinfandel cask whiskey. So this is made in Napa. I don't know. I'm trying to get this in frame here. This is made in Napa Zinfandel casks. It is their base here is their 10-year reserve. Once again, these are both line price. These are both $40 a bottle.
Yep. Which is incredible because
if you-
one's a 4-year, one's a 10-year.
And like I said, if you find a 10-year,
go
once
figure.
again, we're going back to that phrase. If you find a 10-year whiskey that's $40 or below,
snag it.
I would snag it right on the top.
You know, especially if you're into these
Yeah.
types of alcohol.
And
Definitely snag it.
at least I got it right here. Like I said, it's not like I'm not drinking this right now. I was drinking
And
it
I
last night.
actually do too.
So Mike, just so I don't have a biased review on it, what was
Yeah.
your base? Like I said, you don't have any background really knowledge on this. Unfortunately,
So
I've read
I
the back of
will
the
admit,
bottle.
I don't really know much about Kinsey as a whole. I definitely don't know a lot about this bottle. I was just informed about this bottle last week when Dan over here texted me, hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I just got this new product. It's coming in. It's this whiskey. It's aged in Zin."
And I was definitely buying
Which-
a bottle out of the case when I
Oh,
ordered
yeah.
it. I kind of knew that.
And I thought that was really cool because, you know, if you follow alcohol and if you follow the latest trends, it's usually the reverse. It's usually wine
aged in a
bourbon.
spirit.
This was bourbon aged in wine. So I was like, that's pretty
And I think
dope.
that should be like a thing we do later. Like
Yeah,
I said,
we're
I'm
gonna
not gonna
do
do
a
it now,
ver-
but I
we're
think
gonna do a
we're
verbal.
definitely gonna do like a whole thing of like the flip.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do the flip side of things. And you know what? We'll even go as far as trying to track down which bourbon barrels certain wines might be in.
Because
so
I
we
can't
can do
really
the
tell you
direct
which. If
bourbon
you're a
and
wine person
wine.
watching this, I can't really tell you which zin this is in. So if you comment,
Yeah,
ask
not
me
at
which
all.
zin, I have no idea. I
work,
really don't.
I work on the wine side now. We do liquor too, but I primarily wine, and I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
There's so many wines out
But
there.
like you're saying, like it's just like, and I'm gonna use that term again. I used before, sessionable. It is
Yes.
a very easy. If you're a person who doesn't, not all right, I'm not gonna say doesn't like whiskey, but who wants to get into whiskey, and you are from a wine background, you literally get a tannin taste on your cheeks.
Like I said, you'll love this.
It almost
again,
has legs. It actually almost like, and if you're familiar
Yeah.
with like if you're familiar with legs in a wine
legs on a
term,
wine glass, you
it
can
basically
see
means
that.
you have a drip down. You
I mean,
have like
this is-
you have
that-
things falling down on your
It's
bottom.
kind of stupid because even this has legs. But
Well, yeah,
you
but-
know what well, maybe not as much, but like
Yeah.
you know what we're getting
Um,
at if you're a wine enthusiast.
But yeah, like I said, it's just an oddball type of whiskey, and you will not see this on their website. So you
No.
will have to actually search this out if you actually do want to try and find this. But like I said, like you just trying it first time, I think you were
Yeah,
blown
I
away by
tried
the
this
product,
for
right?
my first time. I mean, it was 24 hours ago, maybe.
I think it was literally 24 hours ago
Yeah,
here at 7
probably
o'clock.
exactly.
Was it? I think it's at 9 o'clock.
I was
right
blown
now.
away. I mean, I took one sip and it wasn't even like I was drinking.
Yeah,
whiskey.
you think you're drinking wine at first, and then it becomes whiskey
Yeah,
at the end.
I mean, I can tell you, the nose is nothing compared to.
I get plum on the nose.
A regular- like-
personally. And I'm not gonna be one of those whiskey guys that tells you that like, oh,
Yeah.
I get plum and then I get toffee and then I get caramel and I get layering. Like, yes, I understand what all that means, but at the same time, I'm like, a good whiskey's a good whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blow your ear off with terminology. I really
So-
don't want to do that. I don't really like when people do that personally.
No, I don't either. Because again, everyone's taste is different, so you might not get the same things we
Yeah,
get.
exactly. But I think for $40, all three of these.
And also, not to mention, we've been drinking for a very long time and very many, so we can.
I don't know. I think
pick,
if someone who's watching this and we say very long time,
Well,
we've been
yeah,
legal
whatever.
for 5 years.
That's true. Not that long, but we've been
around a lot. I think we've been around a lot.
Exposed
Exposure is the term you want to
of
use.
stuff. So we kind of have developed that sense where you kind of can start to
Let me
pinpoint
go set up
some of the
something real quick.
different
Something special.
some of the different ingredients there. So maybe you won't get plum right away, but I can kind of sense that in here.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, the nose on both of these are extremely different. And we're talking a straight bourbon here, which is actually a little sweet. You definitely get some of the alcohol, malt. I think as far as saying almost mapley. It's
Oh, you get maple.
Yeah.
You get maple. And
You
once
know,
again,
it's
like I
distinct.
want to keep this. Like, the whole point of this is like when we say
is a
everyday
wine.
when we say everyday whiskey, we want to keep this. Not I want to say basic. We want to keep this
Yeah.
broken down in layman's terms, and we want to make this easy.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people complicate it, and good whiskey is good whiskey. And when I'm talking about good whiskey, as we said, this product here is made by Buffalo Trace Distillers. And if you're watching this and you know anything about Buffalo Trace Distillers, the product that everybody wants every year is
Pappy Van Winkle.
And what product do we have right here?
Pappy 15. Now it's
All right.
not in the do we have the original bottle still? Do you still have that?
All right.
Go see if you still
Do you
have
want
that.
to pour the? All right, we're gonna pour a shot. We're gonna pour
I'm
a
sure
glass.
there's going to be doubters out there that are going to be like, oh, that's
right,
in a
yeah.
decanter. That could be
So
Jack
I'm gonna
Daniels.
go. I am gonna go get the
We-
bottle that
we
belongs to the
have
decanter.
this.
I'll go get the bottle.
So let's pour this out here. So, like Dan was saying earlier, we're trying just to find the. This is a channel just about everyday whiskeys. You know, what's valuable, what's easygoing, the most bang for your buck whiskey. We're not by.
All right, guys.
Oh, that really was the end of it.
That's
Holy shit.
that's the end of it.
So here you go.
You trust me, guys. This is a very sad day for me. So
This
is
is fact.
Pappy Van Winkle 15-year, 107 proof whiskey. A very high. It's a very rye heavy bourbon. I will
Yes.
say it's got a good spice to it. This was my first rare whiskey purchase ever.
Oh yeah.
And
That's-
I figured the way to end this decanter, to end it, unfortunately, I'm very sad right now,
Yeah.
would be to be
I'm
on
very happy I get to share the last of this with
Yeah,
one
I
of
know.
my best-
I'm kinda
my
happy.
not one, my best friend. So,
yeah,
like, this
so
is cool.
I figured the best way to end it would be with the end of our first episode.
This
so
is probably what, only my second time having this.
this is your second time having this. This
Yeah.
is more than
And
so, yeah.
I do want to do one special thing before we end this episode. I'd like to provide a couple shout outs here. One would be to my cousin who runs I'd say a very famous
yeah,
craft
he's
beer
got
page.
as far as let's say as far as New Jersey goes, he's got a good following.
As far as New Jersey, I mean, he's got a big following. His name on Instagram is Jersey Craft Beer Troll. Check him out, please. He's got, I mean, this man has not global. He's got continental reach to everything across the United States. I mean, the amount of porch bombs he gets.
I was
With
about to
all
say
these
he's
cool
got
exclusive
beers I've
products.
never seen before,
Yeah.
heard about, whatever. Like,
And again, like we
it's
mentioned
a lot.
earlier, we are big into beer still. Don't get us
And that's
wrong.
where we got our start. So
Um,
we will always appreciate
but-
beer no matter where we are.
I'd definitely like to thank Jersey Craft Beer Troll for giving us a shout out to help us kind of get started on Instagram, at least to kind of give us a little bit of a following. And I believe there was one other person who may have
Yeah,
shouted us
so
out.
my sister actually gives a shout out. I really appreciate that. We're getting our start here. As you said before, it's our first YouTube video. So my sister's her name is Gentleman Smith, Gentleman Smith Photography on Instagram, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Jenna. But yeah.
My phone's recording. I can't even check that for you. But
Yeah, sorry, but my sister, yeah, like I said, she gives a shout out on her page. I really appreciate her giving us
Both
some
of
help
her
there.
pages, I believe. Her
Both,
private,
yeah,
which
private.
we're not going to reveal her
Yeah,
private.
I can't reveal her private, but
and
her
the photography.
But her actual photography page is Gentleman Smith Photography
Yes.
on Instagram. And this toast goes out to these people.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Jen.
So,
This is-
guys, remember to like,
has been
subscribe,
great.
and comment.